Hello everybody, it's your favorite player, the Gamer Man. Today we're back with another episode of the 7th Enigma. So, by the tell from the first video of this game, you guys really enjoyed it. Even though the watch time wasn't that long, but I can probably understand that probably didn't talk that much, or was that expressionate during my playthrough. That because it was late at night, couldn't talk really loud, slash I couldn't be as expressionate as I wanted to. Even though the title was interesting, but you probably didn't think of that interesting since I made no connection to the title to the video. So this time, once I was at the house, and since it's just me, I'm gonna try to do that. You know, make the title actually have some point to the video. And we left off with which save it was? It was 2 o'clock save. After everybody escaped and got a big introduction, now we're back with a Beckett. Our cop, well, a brain investigator, you want to call him, aka Lucifer without the powers. He looks similar to Lucifer, the character, in Lucifer without the powers. Or what it looks, it's like a downgraded version. Yeah, but let's continue. Beckett leans against the cell wall, eyeing the hole in the roof. How in the world did they know the position of this facility? Apparently it wasn't that hard. And they had some insider knowledge. Not if I'm assuming so far. Unclear, sir. They appear to have approached on the ground through the tunnel system. However, to make it here would require extremely precise information. This is an off-grid facility. Simple bullet shouldn't be impossible. You might think impossible, but it might be not impossible for the next guy. Because it might be impossible doesn't mean it's implausible. Just saying. Yet here we are. An informant work with them perhaps? Doesn't seem likely. Did we get a scan of them? No sir, they entered directly through the roof, then back through the tunnel system. No neural ID signatures detected. Here's the sorry, I had to clear my throat. Here's the neural ID. If you want to read it, here we go. But basically you can track like you could do in real life, but with brain signatures this time instead of just fingerprints, passport, IDs, cameras, or basic cameras. He was likely extracted several hours ago based on lack of residual heat in the room. You could tell when somebody got extracted by heat. I guess since it's in a feature of 2060, I guess somebody did figure that out. So someone has figured out a way to avoid neural ID detection. At this point, you'll think it'd be worth going back to the old-fashioned cameras. What a waste. What's the next course of action, sir? Should we notify the Bureau? Not yet. If we do that, it'll be us who get erased. Then we'll come in hand and simply close the loop. The loop. Also, some just now, the game, well, I said in my first video, I don't know if you could hear it or not, but said that the game would throw a lot of plot at you, but it was slowly unraveled throughout the game. It'd tell you, like, what this meant back then compared to now. So right now, I have no idea what I'm talking about a loop. I'm assuming it's something to do with, like, time travel or whatnot, or, like, time manipulation or time shifting. But, yeah, it's going to be a lot of plot heavy, which I heard from reviews of this game. Besides, this could be the opportunity for us. If we retrieve the prisoner and uncover a threat that even the Bureau wasn't aware of, that would likely put us in line for promotion. Probably not. If we're still the same, like, capitalistic place, probably not. The Bureau will just take credit for it, or be like, you did your job, have a nice day. I highly doubt it. You do have high ambitions, sir. Double S kind of screws me up, but are you sure this is wise? You know how ruthless they can be. It is the only option we are left now. It is all or nothing from here. We must figure out who they are and deliver them to Bureau. Beckett pauses as he stares with the intensity of thought. So they left no other clues whatsoever? No, sir. Do another sweep, check all nearby scanners if there are any other form of surveillance that may capture the movements. Yes, sir. Also gather my teammates up. Right away, sir. What does his scene go look like? Might turn out team versus team, but end up being like the one of the notary games. I think the last one, partly spoiler alert, was team versus another team that didn't know what the other two teams didn't know about. Just outside the base area, Elijah stands solitary as he seeks to uncover his shattered memories. Oh, he looks much more cleaner now. He didn't look a whole nice. He didn't look as bad of a hobo as now than he did before. He just looks homeless. There was something I had to do. What was it? Come on, think. Elijah kicks a nearby metal beam in frustration. Nothing at all. Just blank. All that lingers is some strange sense of urgency that I carried. What does that even mean? After some time, a voice calls out to Elijah from over his shoulders. Oh, hey, I was just looking for you. Feeling any better? Elijah turned to see Zala, who draws near to stand alongside him. Yeah, I think I'm getting there. Get a good sleeping. I basically was out since my head hit the pillow. I only just woke up and decided to go for a walk. That's good. Looked like you needed it. I did. Still feeling all surreal, but I guess I just gotta accept the position I'm in. Silence grows as the two looked upon the vast system of tunnels. Maybe strange not knowing who you are or what's going on. Yeah, it's a pretty weird feeling to say at least. Might be nice to forget everything though. Maybe. I wouldn't really know if I had a life I want to remember or not. It's probably a bit of both. Things you like to forget, things too precious to let go of. Zala pauses. The weight in her words speak of depth of experience that sprung them forward. I've been a tongue twister. Well, I guess that's how it be for me anyways. Sorry, I'm not making these things. I am not making this easier. Sorry, I got distracted by these. But no, it's okay. It feels good to talk about it. Ever since I woke up, it's been frantic. It gives me a chance to process. Yeah, I can't imagine how weird it would be having no recollection. Yeah, recollection at all. Then being whisked away by a bunch of strangers. It's a wonder you ever run away from us, and I considered it. I really did. She's really so genuinely caring. Why did I feel like we're gonna get backstabbed because we just said that? That could be some. Well, I feel like this could be some foreshadowing. She's so caring that I'm like, yeah, I never cared for you. I was one to erase your memories or did this and that to you. I called it in one of my videos before one time. I'm like, wow. Wasn't even surprised. Slightly because there's more to it, but overall still was surprised. Run away. I don't know where I'll go. Anyway, it's clear you guys are the good people. You're assuming that, and that Becky guys were going to keep you trapped in there. I should be grateful if anything. It's funny hearing you talk. It doesn't sound like you have no memory. I feel like you have plenty of personality in me. Oh, there's some foreshadowing. I feel like there's so much. To me, this feels like there's so much foreshadowing going on. This man might have a murder personality. We wouldn't know about it. Or a psychopath. Strange. Like, I know who I am. I feel like it's right there, but as soon as I try to think about it, it's something else that just stopped me. So frustrating. Well, if it makes you feel any better, you may not be missing out on too much. This world sucks, basically, anyways. We were just here to hope to turn it around. Probably a fool's hope, but it's something to live for at least. Something to get out of bed for, even though we basically have no chance of success. It's that bad, huh? It has been for a lot of us. Of course, not like I grew up in one of the rich areas on the eastern side, so I can't speak for everyone, I guess. All I know is my experience, and from that I can say without doubt, Those BOCs above us are twisted and corrupt as they come. Once again, the silence envelopes the two in the carnivorous tunnels. Though I can't remember, I feel like I know what you're saying is right. Either way, I have to figure out what is going on and what I'm here for. That you do. You'll hear all about how we came to get you. You'll soon hear how we came to get you out of there. It's our hope you'll join us. But, you know, you can walk away. Thanks, I know what I do or where to go. It isn't easy. I just don't want you to feel too pressured. We want you to along for the right reasons. Thanks. That does actually help. All it made me feel more confident to stick around. I'm glad we could really use your help. I mean, let's head over. By the time you have some answers. It's actually a terrorist group versus another terrorist group. Why is he posing like that? Also, that bicep looks weird. Not bicep, but his thighs look super weird. Man, they didn't look pretty. Why should you think your pants are shiny, but everybody else is just okay. I mean, it's still, it got some good stories and whatnot, even though his arms look out of proportion for right now. Maybe just because the way his posture is. His look like he got boobs instead of just pecs. Alright, Jasper. Elijah, feel any better after you sleep? Or any different after you sleep? And then come back to you yet? Feeling a lot better, thanks. But I haven't recalled anything yet. I see. Well, there's a lot for you to catch up on. Hopefully, getting you up to speed will trigger some memories. Anything you like to start with? Well, I'm thankful for you guys busting me out of there. I just want to know why you did it and what you are expecting me in return. To be honest, we don't know either. It was the founder that sent us the exact time and coordinates to save you. We're only to do the distraction, then return to the base and get further instruction. The founder? Who's that? He's one of the similar group. First with Iker, who was then instructed to gather together people you see. That's when we call him the founder. Okay, but who is he? Are we going to meet him soon? Well, we don't know who he actually is, and we never actually met him. What do you mean? Akapaz was looking out over the base and thought, I think it might be more helpful to come at a different angle. I feel like it's gonna be a weird angle. But yes, technically he's not human. He's actually an alien robot. Don't worry, we'll explain more about it and more about the founder soon. It's probably best to catch up on him about the Bureau to start. They are the ones coming for us now. True, then we'll explain about the founder. It'll make more sense. Bureau, I heard you use that term a lot, quite a bit. Full name is the Bureau of Safety and Controls, often called BOSC, or just the Bureau. Then you can read about the Bureau if you want to. Oh, wait. Alright, there we go. They grew as a shadow government before gaining absolute control, run by a very select group of elites. Everything you do is monitored and influenced through the BOC. Elijah pauses for a moment to think. Everything's run by one group of elites that have grown to take control of everyone. It doesn't sound like something people would easily accept. No, but you do it over time, you can easily crush the people who don't accept it and keep the people who do. Yeah, feel early, sure. Yeah. How's that even possible? How did people let that happen? It's a complicated story. The founder revealed the truth to us that wasn't revealed to the public. I'll give you a quick overview now, but we won't be able to cover everything. Why don't you take a seat? Iker leads the group to a sitting area before continuing. Listen closely. It might be too much to tell you everything at once, so we'll simplify it for now. Jasper, why don't you bring the training program and run Elijah through it? Sure, I'll bring it up. Jasper gets out his tablet and props up for Elijah to see. Elijah, I'm going to run you through our training program to get you up to speed with our mission. It contains some information that is known to the public, though most of it is secret information that the founder has closed to us. Understand that mission is crucial. You come determined with the following information. I guess I wish we can give you more time to absorb it all, but practically giving you a memory loss. But the fact is that the Bureau is going to be coming for them. We have no time to lose, so we're going to have to hit you with everything, with everything right now. Right? Theo hasn't done the training either, so we'll run you both through this together. Okay, I'm ready. Elijah, given you can't remember the tempest system, I think we should start there. And well, in 2041, the research scientist Dr. Tahara Evans made waves with a groundbreaking scientific paper. Whoa. Tahara. Sort of vision flooded Ethan's mind as the group sees his face come to in response to him in the name of it. Are you okay? Did you remember something? I'm fine. I think I almost did. What was it? Was it just my imagination? The image won't come back to me. Okay, Elijah. It'll come back with time. Want to stop and take a break? No, I'm fine. Continue, please, Jasper. Okay, then. Jasper presses his finger down as he begins to run through the training visual. Whoa. Well, if you want to read all this, be my guest. Alright. We're going to talk about the Tempest system. Wow, this looks like a big mouthful. The Tempest system was a device designed to make use of Dr. Evans' newly discovered quantum field, which he coined as the Tempest field. It was named this as the field exhibit a unique characteristic. Here's some quantum. Alright. There you go. Some good visuals. Like many quantum particles, temporal particles can have a... Didn't mean to do that. Like many quantum particles, temporal particles can have a special connection to other particles of their own kind, known as the quantum entanglement term. When one particle is spinning one way, you can know for certain that the other particle is spinning another way. It is a true binary connection. All this quantum so far, this is basic physics. Even not following, don't worry, it isn't too important to understand how this works right now. What was unusual about these particles is how entanglement occurred, which was unique to this field. Normal entanglement is seen across distance of space, so that even though two particles might be in different locations, they still maintain the connection. Guess that's wow. They really did some of the research, because this is actually the basis of quantum physics or quantum mechanics, depending who you are. But yeah, in some degree on quantum physics, I'm gonna go quantum physics. Quantum physics, it's checking quantum. Let's say a quantum particle can be in one place or another. It could just be there. It could just be somewhere else, in a certain period of time, no matter what, across different space. And I'm guessing where the game is going to use that is going to take two particles of the quantum physics, well, from quantum physics, and use it as it could. Both of these particles will be to occupy different spaces, but spinning with, well, entangling with each other roughly at the same time, like ones and zeros. Interesting. I'm also a big nerd of physics and whatnot. It's not my best subject, but I enjoy it when I read about it, hear about it. But after further research, Dr. Tahara Evans made a thrilling discovery. The discovery she made was that these new particles she found didn't have their special connecting. They're taking them across normal spatial distance. What about time travel and whatnot? She discovered that tempest particles and integral pair actually interacted backwards across time. Simply put it, this scientific discovery could used to be transcending time itself. I guess so. Interesting. Because I always wondered, when I got more into like physics and whatnot, I always wondered, how would you go back in time? Like, how would you push time backwards if time is continuously going forwards? So I guess this is something. This is one way this game is used. Is something to connect both the past and the future. One is spinning right now, but then easily one can also change and not be spinning. I can see why he said transit time itself. Alright. I didn't understand none of that, but Elijah, you don't seem surprised at all. Eh? You remember it? No, it's surprising, but something about it seems familiar. So you're saying to develop a method of time travel? Not quite. Physical time travel is possible, at least for sitting on ordinary matter. Only Tempest particles from Tempest will behave in this way. Want to read it? Here you go. Alrighty. There you go. Even then, the particles themselves don't actually travel with time. They simply interact backwards across time with the integral pair. I have absolutely no idea what any of that stuff means. Do I have to actually understand the science and stuff? No, because what it means for us and our mission is actually straightforward. It means object, people, basically anything physical can be seen through the field. Although it's possible to send a person back, information would be a different story. Wow, you can send information through the past or the future. Huh. So I can understand that. Wait a minute, so what if, so here's a theory. What if the Bureau took that, I'm gonna say weaponize it, but controlled it to, like, use it to control information, and took that information, sent it back into the past, so they can theoretically make it back in a lot earlier, and send more information back to the past. So I guess they can gain control of the government later on to the future's past. If you get what I'm saying. Huh. No, I like the games that make you think like that. Exactly, about utilizing entangled tempest particle using binary information from the future to the past in unlimited supply. Again, in English, thanks. Essentially, you can send computer files back through time. You could have said that from the first time. Why you guys made it complicated? Anyways, to catch the system, you will need a machine to send the message to. Oh, exactly. Only a Tempest machine is able to detect the information through the field. Send the information in the earlier, there's nobody to call or to speak. So basically, every time in human history that message could be sent is when the first Tempest machine was switched on, that being in 2044. Dr. Tahara Evans was a brilliant woman. She realized that creating a receiver is much easier than creating a transmitter. Well, yeah, because the future already had it. Yeah, the future already had the transmitter, technically speaking. The receiver only needs to detect Tempest particles and decode the binary information. The transmitter, however, needs to be designed to pair with the entangled particle located in a specific point in time, which don't easily repeat. So, although the first machine to receive file was turned on in 2044, the first machine to send files wasn't completed until months later in 2059. Yeah, that would have made sense. You had to wait some time for this to actually develop, for this technically to actually sit back to that. Interesting. Right, that makes sense. But hey, why didn't they just send the information of how it's built to the mission how to build the transmitter machine back in 2044? Yeah, why didn't they do that? Good question. They did do that. They'll be clear that doesn't mean they didn't have to invent the machine. Tell you why this way. If when they first turned on the receiver in 2044, the planes had come straight through, then they would never had the chance to create the transmitter in the first place. This will create a paradox. Fortunately, that isn't the way physics works. That's true. Huh. That will create a paradox. Interesting. I was thinking that, how does it work then? This is very severe. Explain this to you of all people. Anyway, the way it really works is sequential loops. Here, I better go trim the video to make it easier to understand. Okay, so we have a receiver. Then was built in 2044, and the transmitter was built in 2059. This is what happened in the original timeline. What we call the original timeline. Oh, when information is back in time in a way to alter the timeline, at that moment, time is looped back on itself. That prior reality is effectively erased and replaced with a new loop. Following? Nope. What it means is the person when they switch on the machine in 2044, they didn't automatically just get the files and transmitted sent to them. In fact, nothing happened. No message came through originally. The future played out. Normally, the transmitter had to be built from scratch. When it completed, they sent files back, which created a new loop. On this new loop, it would appear as the files for the transmitter appear straight away once the receiver was first switched on at 2044. Although that reality was basically placed, it doesn't mean it would happen. The power loop calls events in the next loop. That is what we mean by sequential loop. Each loop is built off the preceding one. That is insane. It is a lot to take in. Because each loop is built off the prior loop, causality is never broken. Cause and effect can still play, but it can never be paradoxes. Because technically speaking, each loop is still continuing and creating another loop. You can keep creating loops without making any paradoxes. Interesting. Wow, they put a lot of thought and time in this. That's why the reviews on this game's good. Right, it is possible to know how many loops have played out before this one. All we can ensure is if you're in a world that is receiving information through the Tempest system, it at least isn't the first loop. A prior loop must have caused it. Okay, I think I understand how the Tempest system works, at least the basics. So what the Bureau has, so the base of the Bureau, I'm making a theory, is that the Bureau, so whatever Terra ever did in the first loop, sorry, I'm gonna move this mouse, I'll move my finger like you can see it. Whatever Evans did to the first loop, I'm theorizing that the Bureau did something on the second loop where they can control the information, since they probably got the information during 2044 and proceeded to send the information between each other on the other loops. That's what I'm theorizing, but we're going to find out later. It is a device that sends information to the past, and doing that kind of also creates a new loop that will replace the old timeline. Is that right? That about covers it. Then I'm guessing you can't send messages to the future. Is that right? Correct. Tempest system only works in one direction, sending a message to the past. Because the last loop is all replaced by a new loop. The future the message came from no longer exists in a new timeline that is created. It does make sense. Technically, when you send back information once, the end zone is actually just cut off now. This is continuing. The effect is continuing to cause another effect. But the end result is cut off. What it did a job, then another loop happened. Okay. This makes it impossible to send messages forward. In a new timeline, the future is always unwritten. There's no future yet to send it to. The old future no longer exists either. So I get it. A message from the future means it's a message from a timeline that's been removed. Huh. That makes sense. Indeed, ultimately the past means shifting it to a new loop. So inevitably, by sending a message to the past, you're essentially deleting your current loop. But that doesn't make them pointless. Though we use the term sequential loop. Each loop built on a loop before it in sequence, and the information that's sent back is preserved. Obviously, nobody retains memories or how many loops have occurred prior to this one. When the change is made, everything shifted back to a point memory zone. Oh, what you experience your life to be like is evident by the bright green line on the video. You know, other loops used to exist, they have been erased and replaced along with us. So let's say I sent information about my birthday is gonna be in 2 months. So then we go on, I get the information. Alright, 2 months. Then my birthday goes on. Then let's say my birthday goes on. Wouldn't that mean in the second loop I should get information from him? From the second loop future, I should get information from me that what my gifts are for my birthday. Then I go to another loop. I have the gifts, but now my second loop is going to tell me, well, not second loop, my third loop is going to tell me if I enjoy the gifts or not. Interesting. You don't remember they occurred. By altering the past, they have not been erased. However, you can send logs of information through the temp system. You cannot only keep track of what such occur in the loop, but also manipulate the past and future with that information. Interesting. So basically, the future me send information to the past me, who has multiple information going on, but the future me information keeps changing because of what I have. I just don't remember that I have to be sending information to myself, but I can keep logs of it, obviously. Okay. So our experience reality plays anomaly into the future, but there may have been many loops prior causing an event in our lives. You have no way of knowing. No, you don't. You really don't. It's just trying to wrap my head around. Alright, that makes sense. So connecting the dots from earlier, are you saying it was a BOC plan to use the system in order to seize control of the future? That was my idea too. Yes and no, it has become that way now, but it wasn't the case. In fact, if it wasn't for the invention of the template system, the initial work of the BOC, there wouldn't have been much of him left. What? They weren't always what they are now. They were the reason they amassed so much power they have. This is a lot for Elijah to take in all at once. Maybe we should take a break and finish this over dinner. You're probably right, Zola. Quick mental break, some food will help. It would be good for Elijah at this point. The group began to scatter preparation for dinner while Elijah stayed frozen alone with thoughts. I somehow know this already. But what is the strange sense of foreboding I'm feeling? You are not the only one. In response to this early assembly, Beckett's troops have properly arrived to his room. They stand to attention about the solid signs of movement, ready to see the orders. I have called you here because I have a highly classified mission for all of you. This is not the one you may fail. Is that clear? Yes, sir. We have an escape prisoner we need apprehended. In your documents, you will see a copy of his neural ID. There is no match on record, and the unstable nature of your signature means you might scan to send memory alert as to his presence. Permission to speak, sir? Granted. How is it possible there is no ID match? How can we locate him if he won't trigger our scanners? We don't know how it's possible, officer. This has not happened before. However, we do have a surveillance image from his entrance into the facility. It is fortunate we have decommissioned that tech yet, because at present, it is our main lead. An image, sir. Is that a problem, officer? A sharp sneer leaves Beckett's lip in contrast to his earlier speech. Oh no, sir. Apologies, sir. I just meant to ask, how can we use them on an image? There's an old technology called facial recognition. Wow, I never thought I would ever hear the old technology of facial recognition. We used to run a search. It may be unreliable compared to neural ID. You say that, but granted, that's the only source right now. But it has at least narrowed down to the smallest of candidates. You'll see the million files. Unfortunately, due to the time difference in our reference image, it could be anyone on the list. Sir, one of the people on the list is Dr. Shaw. Isn't he the hero who died over 8 years ago? I have listed every individual who came up with strong matching to search within the data in the date range, deceased or not. Whoever did this, they are clearly an enigma. We will leave no stone unturned. Title card. You get the reference, Yes, sir. Finally, he is likely encumbered by a group of well-trained operatives. Investigating squads of 3 and beyond guard. Based on interaction with them, they are familiar with tunnel system, may have hide out there. Prioritize search that area. Yes, sir. Report to me regularly with updates until he's found and brought here. I will set no excuses. Is that clear? Yes, sir. Team, move up. Autobots, roll up. After troops clear out, silence once again return to the facility. Do you really believe Dr. Shaw could be alive? Hard to say. They certainly look like. The prisoner also was a mystery in his own right. Who has ever heard of a person not matching a neural ID? Calls into question the Bureau's control completely. Careful, sir, stating like that could be misinterpreted. True, though, you know I'm not stupid enough to defy them. I'm gonna say you're not gonna defy me yet. Until you figure out who Dr. Shaw is, probably. Why did you not inform the troops of a particular object he was carrying? Was that not another vital lead that might aid them in finding him? There's an old saying, don't cast your pearls before the swine. First, we need to find out what it is. It could be of particular value. Please focus all your attention and resources examining it. Determine what it is as quickly as possible. Report back to me. Yes, sir. The assistant exits the room, leaving Beckett alone with his thoughts. He stares with his eyes on focus as the words of assistant ring in his mind. He casts his mind back to a defining moment in his dedication to the Bureau. Minutes, Beckett. And that's where I'm going to stop. Wow, that was a lot of information to take in. That's a lot of science. I hope you're ready, because you can skip out your science class and just take this, or just play this game. Hey, now, some video games are scientific. Not all of them are about bloodshed and murder. Even though this probably is going to be a little bit of bloodshed and murder. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe. I'd like to thank you for the support on my first video of this. And if you keep it going, I'm going to keep making the videos. Also, I'm probably going to do another video game soon. It's going to be Expeditions, the Vikings, not the Rome, unfortunately, because my computer's not that powerful. Yeah, but like I said, like and subscribe, leave a comment, and bye.